Hey friends, what's up? Welcome or welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm just going to be sitting down and chatting with you for a little bit, getting you up to date with a bunch of different things that have been going on in my life because there is a wide range of things happening and I feel like it's just been a really long time. So if you are new to the channel, welcome, and you're going to learn a lot about me because there's a wide range of things that I'll be talking about in my personal life. And if you are not new to the channel, welcome back. We're just gonna, update you on what's been going on. I feel like I do this more often on my other social channels because it's easier to post on a daily level, but not so much on YouTube. So I feel like I owe you all a little bit of a catch up. So let's get right into it. I will also say that I'm just gonna be sitting down and chatting for this video. So if you want to put me in the background and continue what you're doing and listen to me on the side, totally go on and do that. You do not have to stare at my face. Okay, so the first thing is that on the day that I post this video is actually my birthday. So I will be turning 28 and I am quite excited to turn 28, I guess. And I wanted to talk about my plans, what I'll be doing as you watch this video. So I actually scheduled my road test for my birthday. I know that sounds so bizarre, but like I said, I'm 28. I do not have a driver's license. I've had a permit since I was 17 years old, and there's just been a lot of things that happened in those several years. So it's about time that I get my driver's license, and especially now that I live in a state where driving is a little bit more necessary, it's about time. So I just scheduled it, and honestly, I'm not too worried about the exam. Wish me luck in the comments though, because that would be super helpful. But I'm not too nervous because, like I said, I've had my permit for many years. So I've had several years of experience practice driving, and I feel pretty confident. I also hear that it's easy, and I also hear that it's like 10 minutes long. So I don't know, maybe the confidence is a good thing, but still, fingers crossed for me, wish me luck, and hopefully it doesn't ruin my birthday. But that is the main plan for my birthday. I also have some other things going on. I have a content shoot that I have to do that day, and I'm actually really excited about it, even though it's technically work, because I just love doing creative things. So I just feel like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I have to head into New York City for this shoot. So I don't know, I'm just really excited about it. I have my bag packed with all of my camera tools and stuff, so it's gonna be fun. And since I'm going to be in New York City, and if you knew or you didn't know, I'm originally from New York City, so I will be able to hit up some spots that are like my local favorites that I haven't been able to since I've moved, and I don't frequently go into New York City. So I'm gonna be doing some of that. I don't like to take my birthdays too seriously. I don't like big, lavish celebrations. I've never liked that. So I kind of like to just go with the flow of my birthday. And I feel like the most important thing that I like to do is try foods that I've been particularly craving. I don't know, that's so weird, but that's what I like to do. So I'm craving two things at this given moment. The first thing is a bagel and cream cheese. I know that's so New York of me. I know that's so random, but I just miss a really nice chunky bagel, like a genuine New York City bagel with cream cheese, like stuffed with cream cheese. So I have my vegan cream cheese ready, going to get me a bagel, and that's going to be my breakfast, my birthday breakfast. And then for dinner, I would really like to get me a super, super delicious bowl of vegan ramen. And I know there are plenty of amazing spots in New York City and Brooklyn and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that I can order that as takeout, bring it back home, and then for dinner we'll sit out in the backyard and we can light the fire pit and enjoy our ramen by the fire. I just think that's the coziest thing ever. Perfect way to have a birthday dinner, at least in my opinion. So I would absolutely love to do that. And I think that is all for my birthday plans. I also want to go to an art store, whether that's in New York City or in, the area that I live, because I want to pick up gouache. Now, if you don't know what gouache is, it's essentially a less translucent version of watercolor. And if you are a long time viewer of the channel, I appreciate you. You'll know that I have used watercolor as my main form of painting or, creating physical art. So yeah, I want to try gouache. I just feel like it's something that would be in my comfort zone because I'm comfortable with watercolor. And Inktober is coming up. Inktober is like a day away if you're watching this on the day that it comes out. And while I'm not going to be participating in the Inktober specific like prompts, I will be doing a drawing challenge. And I found a creator on Instagram where I'll be following their prompts, and I shared it on Instagram if you're interested. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a drawing challenge in October, and I think that paired with getting a new gouache set might be the perfect combination. And I'm just in a huge creative flow. This always happens during this time of year. I just get so immensely creative, and it makes me so happy. It's like nothing's better than me being in my creative space, or nothing is better for me than being in a creative space. So yeah, looking forward to going to an art store. I also miss just browsing in an art store. And those are my birthday plans. At least that's all I've got planned. And the next day after my birthday is actually our wedding anniversary. So we do have plans for that as well. Fingers crossed, y'all. Like, fingers crossed that it doesn't rain on our wedding anniversary, because our plans are all outdoors. We want to go on a hike. We want to take like a good road trip up so that we can take a hike. And then after the hike, we want to order vegan takeout and pick it up, and then take it to a vineyard so that we can do a wine tasting and then picnic with our takeout. The great thing about vineyards is not only is it really cool to just go and wine taste and be in a vineyard, but you can also go out into their, seating area, and it's all outdoors. It's super spaced out, and you're in a vineyard and you're drinking wine and you have takeout. Like, what's better than that? So fingers crossed we are able to do that for our anniversary. I don't have a plan B because I really, really want to do this. I've been planning this for a very long time. So yeah, those are the plans for this weekend, birthday/anniversary stuff. And I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm very, very excited. Okay, the next update is correlated with spooky season. So I'm just gonna say it. I am starting a podcast. I cannot believe that I'm saying that, because to be honest with you, I've always wanted to be part of a podcast for many, many years. I would say over 3 years I've just been thinking about this, and I've never actually took the plunge because I know how much work goes into creating a podcast, and I've just never been fully committed, and I just know that I was never able to sustain a good quality podcast given all of the other things that I have going on in my life. And to be honest with you, I still don't know if I have the bandwidth for it, but I'm going to give it a try. I announced it on my Instagram and people were super, super supportive. So now I have a level of accountability there. I don't want to disappoint people, but I will say that this is 100% a passion project. I'm doing this just for the fun of it, and because I love, love, love the whole process of podcast creating and the topic that I'm going to be talking about. Like, what's better than, sitting around and talking about a topic that you love so much? It's just super rewarding on a level that has nothing to do with the audience. It's just rewarding internally, if that makes sense. But I should talk about the topic since I'm talking about spooky season. The topic of the podcast is horror, and it's not a true crime podcast. It's nothing like that. It is a horror podcast for horror lovers and just all forms of media under that genre. So it could be movies, TV shows, video games, other podcasts, books, short stories, any and everything that falls under the horror genre that you can consume, like media that you can consume. I'm going to be talking about it on this podcast. So I'm so, so excited. I love horror so much, and I feel like I have a lot to say in that space, and I've never ever put my voice out there. So I just think this is going to be the perfect outlet, and a lot of people have been super supportive because they know, like, if you know me on a personal level, you know how much I love horror and I love spooky season. So it just seems right. It just seems fitting. And I will say, because this is a passion project and I'm not, I'm just having the fun for it. I'm just having fun with it. I'm not going to release this podcast anytime soon. It's going to likely happen if it happens, if I am prepared for it. by next fall. So fall 2023, look out for it. I've already decided on a name and channel art, and I've been doing all of these like little things here and there super early simply because I'm having fun. So it's like I'm not rushing or anything, I'm just enjoying the process and I'm getting really excited about it. But yeah, if I do end up committing to it, which I'm 99% sure that I am at this given moment, look out for it next year. And I am going to be talking about it throughout the entire year. I am going to be sharing progress updates and sharing the nitty-gritty details on the whole process. I've already started doing that. If you're interested in hearing those updates, I'm not launching like social media on this anytime soon until I'm like ready and committed. So for now, I'm going to be talking about the behind the scenes and the nitty-gritty details on IG subscriptions. I'll talk about that in a second because I know that's a new thing and people are like, what the heck is that? But yeah, I'm going to shift all of that like behind the scenes exclusive information onto IG subscriptions. So let me just go right into what IG subscriptions are. It's essentially like the way that I think of it is like Patreon type of stuff where you can support a creator, but this is happening on Instagram, within the Instagram app, and you get access to exclusive stuff, subscriber only stuff, but it's all happening within Instagram. And I think it's a cool thing as someone who is a main creator, like their main content happens on Instagram. So I think it's a huge benefit for those kinds of creators who have a large audience on Instagram. And for me personally, I had a Patreon. I still have a Patreon. I use it for my newsletter. That's like my hosting for my newsletter. But in the past, I had a really robust Patreon, and it became to be a lot to manage 2 platforms, and it was also a lot to ask my audience to download an app and subscribe to a whole new platform in order to like support me as a creator. So I just feel like having it all condensed into one platform under Instagram might be a lot more convenient for people. At least I think so. So yeah, I'm on IG subscriptions. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see it right there. You can subscribe if you're interested. Obviously, no obligation to do that. I'm just letting you know that it's there. But yeah, that I'm going to be talking about my podcast a lot on IG subscriptions. Like in my stories, you get like exclusive stories and stuff. And you also get like an exclusive, subscriber only group chat. So I'll be talking about all of the podcast stuff there. And as you can tell, I'm super, super excited about it. So I'm going to be chatty about it. And I hope you are excited as much as the people that have already reached out and said they were excited. Your accountability is what makes me want to continue doing this as well. It's not just my love for it. It's also your love for me loving the process. Does that make sense? Anyway, yeah, that's what's going on with the podcast. By the way, I did already create a name for it. I think I already mentioned that. So if you want to know the name of the podcast, I think you can see it on my Instagram right now. If not, you can see it on the IG subscriptions. Anyway, moving on. I know a lot of people have recently subscribed to this channel because you are interested in hearing about my phone, the Google Pixel phones, and you like hearing me talk about the Google Pixel phones. So welcome. I appreciate you being here. I wanted to throw in this quick update that I am very much looking forward to the Google Pixel 7 that's coming out next week. I'm so excited. I will say the Google Pixel 6 Pro has been a runner-up when it comes to the worst Google Pixel experiences that I've had. I know that sounds terrible, but it is true. I think there was one other phone that I had a very bad experience with. I can't recall off the top of my head which one it was. That one was the worst. The Google Pixel 6 Pro is the second worst, at least in my opinion. So I'm very excited to move on to another phone, and I went onto the Google store really quickly today and I noticed that there's like a really futuristic bar that's like silver that borders around the camera, and I just thought that looked pretty nice. So I'm already hyped, and I saw the watch as well. I saw the Google Pixel watch, so I am just so thrilled about those two things, and I have a feeling I'm going to purchase both depending on the price of the watch. I didn't get a chance to see the price of that, but we'll see. Just wanted to throw that into this video because I know people are very eager to hear me talk about the Google Pixel phones. Okay, one other update, or I have two more updates. One, other one being that the backyard. So I mentioned in a previous video, I think in the beginning of the year, where I had like goals for the backyard, to kind of like build it out and structure it in a very specific way. Now, I think in that video, back in January, I mentioned more so on the gardening section of it because I was looking forward to the warmer seasons and setting up the garden first and foremost. That ended up not happening, but the other part of the house or the backyard project did end up happening, and we just finished it. So in that video, I talked about the yard being essentially like a rectangle, and then we split it in half, the back half and the front half. The back half is going to be the gardening section, which will happen next year. And then the front half, we have like different seating situations. So one section is like a fire pit area where we have a fire pit, and then we have like really cute cushions, like sofa cushions that we have around it, and then we also have Adirondack chairs, so it's like a really nice campfire vibe going on there. That's completely finished. It looks fantastic. We love it so much. That's the fire pit that I was talking about when I want to what I want to do for my birthday, like have my ramen there. The second piece of the seating area has just recently finished. We built a pergola. It's gorgeous. If you want to see it, it's on my Instagram feed. I did like a before and after. It's absolutely stunning. I love it so much. It has little planters on the side, so when it gets warmer, I'm going to add plants there as well. We added some fairy lights. We have like a little couch going on. We have a seating area if we want to host, and it's like an expandable table and stuff. The only thing that's missing is decorations, but the structure of it all is finished, and I am so obsessed with it. And I cannot wait to be out there during the cooler seasons. I know everybody goes outside when it's hot and inside when it starts to get cooler, but we do the exact opposite. So we're gonna have outside all to ourselves. It's gonna be nice and quiet and peaceful, and it's gonna be chilly. We can enjoy the fall weather, be out in the nature without needing to like travel to go somewhere to be out in the nature. We can just go into our backyard, and I'm so excited for that. That's gonna be amazing. So if you want to see what that looks like, go onto my Instagram feed. You'll see the before and after. It's like very clearly titled. I'm obsessed with it. It is so, so pretty. I can't wait to host people when I eventually have people over here. I have to admit, hardly anybody has come to visit us at the house. So when that eventually happens, I'm just gonna be so, so thrilled to be able to do that. Okay, my camera cut off, and of course the lighting is all off. Sorry about that. But the last update that I wanted to mention is Riley. I have been talking about Riley so much on my Instagram, and I feel like a lot of people are now just like fully invested. They only follow me for Riley. So essentially, Riley was a stray cat that was visiting the house for like 6 weeks. She kept coming back because I kept feeding her. So of course she kept coming back, but she was very, very tiny, and so I was trying to gain her trust enough so that I would be able to grab her and get her spayed so that she couldn't make babies and have a bunch of stray cats happening or, you know, circulating in the neighborhood. But it turns out that she had already had babies long before she ever knew I existed. And while she was, you know, gaining our trust, she ended up bringing those babies over to the house. She had 2 kittens, and so, you know, she was not in the best condition health-wise. So we decided to take her in and, you know, get her all cleaned up and stuff, and potentially adopt her. By the way, if you're interested in what happened with the kittens, they were not able to be approached. They refused to be approached no matter how much I tried. And now they are no longer around. They are old enough to be on their own. They were like eating solid food. So they're probably out and about living life. But yeah, we took Riley in, and for like 3 weeks straight, it was just like a lot of stuff going on. She had a lot of health issues. She had a huge health scare where I thought she was going to die. And so it was a lot of stuff going on. But after those 3 weeks, we finally got her all cleared, and we just recently spayed her. So she is now like almost 100%. She's just healing from her spay, but she is now ready to be welcomed into the house, into the family. She's been living in the basement basically, but we're slowly transitioning her to be part of our home. And so The only hurdle that's going on there is with Logan, which is obviously the cat that I have that's always in the frame. Logan has been part of our family for 5 years, since he was a little baby. So of course this is his house and he is not happy with change. He's not happy with an additional cat in the house. So it's going to be a very long and treacherous process when it comes to the two of them bonding. So that is where I'm at with the kittens. That's where I'm at with Riley. And yeah, that is pretty much it for all of my updates. So like I said, there's a huge range there, and I hope something resonated with you. Let me know in the comments if something really stuck out with you here in terms of all of the updates that I had. But that is all for this week's video. I'll see you next week when I talk about the Google conference, if you are interested in that stuff. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. If you want to know more about these updates on a more daily level, again, check me out on my social media like Instagram, TikTok, and potentially my newsletter or IG subscriptions. And I will talk to you in next week's video.